Stirring the coffee with chopsticks, using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, this is Triple Bastard Dark Roast. Let's give it a shot. This is the official sponsor, coffee sponsor of the Daybreak Show. Perfect. Perfect. This is like my third cup in. It is perfect. Using the Blue Yeti mic. I like it. It's just a monster. It just feels like I have a giant rocket in front of me that's ready to take off. So pretty soon I think the Sennheiser headphones and the Blue Yeti mic are going to get sold for something different. So if anyone's interested in a new Blue Yeti, newish I should say, or I should say in great condition, let me put it that way, let me know. Perfect first podcasting mic. Daybreak Show is an eye on media and culture and life. I love this sign at a playground. Play at your own risk. Boy, we can't keep kids safe enough now, can we? Just a static playground is threatening them. We have drag queens in the libraries having drag queen story hour, but there's a sign on the playground that says, play at your own risk. That thing's a little flip-flopped. One of the questions that changed my life is, how long will you continue to watch others do what you want to do? When I've seen other people have incredible coaching practices, I can't coach for long. I can coach maybe 3 or 4 people a day. After that, I'm fairly useless because I give so much and I'm just so into my clientele. 3 or 4 people and I'm pretty wiped out for the day. But when it comes to doing content, I'm doing exactly what I dreamed I was going to do. 7 years ago, I said I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to be seen by the world. And I'm going to work specifically with men who've had issues. Who else has benefited from this? Women, mothers, sisters, daughters. People say, why would a woman be interested in your content? I say, because you have brothers, you have fathers, you have sons, and you're interested in men's issues because of that. I got dedicated, kind of addicted to the sport, the solo sport of bodybuilding, just to fend off some health issues. I started doing that around 60 or 61. 63 now. Now I'm 2 years into it, and I'm proud that you can do this at any age. Start working on your body at any age, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. The discipline that I have, and I'm a pretty disciplined person to begin with, that's spilled over to things like my wealth strategies, daily routines, even who I invite in my life, the people that I associate with. Bodybuilding has shown me that almost everything that I do affects this somehow, some way. What are you involved in your life where the discipline in that thing spills over to other areas of your life? I'll ask that question. Here's a question that I ask every couple years. Have you ever ruined a relationship that could have been more, but you were a little too red-pilled, a little too extreme? Excuse me, I don't have the sneeze. Well, I do have a sneeze button. Hold on. Okay, I am back. Just like the real broadcasters. You get a little bit too red-pilled up. And what happens is, to live through the red pill lens, which I believe is very Christian, not the spinning plates part, not the degeneracy part, but knowing man's nature, women's nature, and acting accordingly as told about in the book of Proverbs. When you get a little too harsh, and a lot of that depends on, in my experience, is the difficulties you've had in the past, you tend to be a little more extreme in practice as you get older. For instance, those who've had problems with alcohol are pretty militant about not touching alcohol in the future. Those who feel like that they've been used, those who've been divorced a few times, might feel that they need to be a little tougher, a little more firm with their spouse, with their girlfriend. About 5 years ago, I did exactly that. I was so damn red-pilled about 5 years ago that I drove somebody away that actually could have been a magnificent wife. And many times that toughness drives people away because many times people can't handle accountability. So I do a thing called enhanced accountability, which is I don't want to leave any room for error, but I believe enhanced accountability can drive a woman away. Women don't want to be accountable. They do not want to be accountable. What, are you taking notes on me? What, are you keeping track of what I do? I don't know. My thoughts are if you're not doing anything wrong or questionable, then you should happily tell me where you were for the last 2 hours. I'm accountable. Honey, I'm on my way home, but I'm stopping at the store and grabbing a couple things, and I'll be a little bit late today. That kind of thing. If people are averse to accountability, that's a red flag. And when I start the series called The Minefield, navigating your way through the minefield, the red flags, encountering women from Red Flagistan, that's my little joke, you'll start seeing where you made mistakes in the past and how you can avoid them in the future. Pen and paper, I think, are the original therapist. You just take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, put pros on one side, cons on the other, and when you are about to make a decision, you literally write down the pros of that decision, the cons of that decision. It can even come with people. What is the pro of hanging out with this person? How do I benefit? What are the negatives? What are the cons? The consequences of hanging out with this person? Putting things out on paper is not a bad strategy in life. I've always said people don't value free advice. Better someone pay $2,000 for a session with a coach and a follow-up and actually does what is recommended as opposed to paying a small amount or doing something that costs nothing and then nothing gets done in your life. I find that when I pay for things, like for instance, if I bought a bike, I'm not going to leave it out in the rain. If I spend $2,000 on a bike, believe me, if I hear rain is coming, I'm getting it in the garage or I'm covering it up. I'm not going to leave it out in the driveway or on the back deck. When you pay money for something, what do you do with it? You value it. Here's a great question. What do you truly have control over in your life? What are the things that you have control over as a man? Make a list of those things. And then what happens is you start seeing the things that you don't have control over that you might have been fretting about and getting upset about. And you eliminate that from your life. Then you see, man, I'm just a worrier. Not a warrior, a worrier. Filled with worry all the time. Tell a woman that you're DTF and she'll figure out a way to make it happen. Doesn't matter where, your place, her place. It's eggplant time. Tell a woman that you want a traditional marriage and children, and they disappear. They're gone. They ghost you. It's a sad state of affairs for Western women when it boils down to I get to do what I want or I get to be subject to the love of a boyfriend or husband. Many women want the independence. You want independence? You got it, baby. This is my attitude. Give her exactly what she wants. She wants freedom? You got it. Bye-bye. Anyone here stopping drinking alcohol, not because of abuse or alcoholism, but for health purposes? I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have a drinking problem. I know when to say when. I'm happy with one drink, one cocktail. I don't need a second. I don't add extra alcohol. I purely enjoy the taste of certain drinks. And I am tempted, believe it or not, to not touch it again. Literally for health purposes. I am interested in not touching alcohol. I'm exploring that. And maybe having a glass of wine with dinner or something like that, but just to have a drink, just to have a cocktail, I just need to relax a little bit. I'm using a chemical to relax. I can't just relax myself. So that's kind of interesting. I am convinced there's no such thing as a zip code or a region that produces a better quality woman. If she has running water, she is a modern woman. I said that last week. Oh, but she's from here, or she's from this country. A woman is a woman is a woman is a woman. Never forget that, my brother. Never forget that. It doesn't matter what zip code she is from. Women share the same nature no matter where they are from, whether it be a jungle or a city. Most modern women who are the single fun aunt would be shitty wives and mothers and have degenerate private lives, nightstand drawers filled with vibrators, lube and condoms and silk scarves. And if you know, you know. And only, from what I see, only old dogs like myself have seen that. These women with their pets and their nieces and nephews, but they have not produced their own children. They are the fun aunt that gives the mom a break. They give the kids back at the end of the day, and Chad arrives, rearranges her insides for the night. He's gone by morning. When the little niece shows up the next day, the single fun aunt, fish in a barrel. I love what this woman says. My man will never have to worry about a messy house. No food on the table after work. Girls' night out. I like that because girls' night out is never about the girls. Don't forget that. And the other thing I like to say about girls' night out is this, is if she dresses nicer for girls' night out or sexier for girls' night out than she does for you, you're already screwed. On to the next topic. My man will never have a boring sex life. I will never make his already stressful life more stressful. I will never be disloyal or disrespectful to him. I just heard some growling. Hold on a second. You guys have to be good. This, of course, is the time when the critters are all just kind of competing with one another. Mornings are fun. And then she ends this by saying, my man deserves nothing but the best love life. I call her a unicorn. Are there any women out there like this anymore? I'm not sure. I get glimpses of it, but I certainly don't have a lot of hope for it. Who's growling? Who's doing the growling? Pets are like kids. You got to keep them in order. Too funny. Young lady, a longtime follower that feels hopeless about marriage and children. She considers me kind of a fatherish figure. She is one of my windows into what's happening with young people. I met her when she was about 30. She's 35 now. I think that she would make a nice wife for a young man about 35 to 42 years old who has his life together. She's a pretty girl. She's a classy girl. She can look very hot. She's very smart, very articulate, and she's running into boys. She's running into boys. One of the quickest death blows to a relationship or a marriage is this. Stop allowing her to be your mama. You got a mama. There's no quicker way to dry a woman up than to put her in a masculine role or the role as your mother. We as men are supposed to lead. That's no guarantee that you're not going to get left or divorced. But I can guarantee you how you will get divorced or left, and that is be a little boy. I hate to say man up. That's such an old phrase, man up. What does man up mean to you? Put it down below. I'd like to hear that. The problem with getting ripped, as in belly, I'm getting my first six-pack in many years, and it feels okay. It's all ego. Like, I'll get a six-pack, enjoy it for 2 weeks, and then I'll go back to eating donuts. The problem with getting ripped is, and having a six-pack at my age, is your face gets ripped. Like, you can't spot reduce. You don't just do more sit-ups in order to get a six-pack. You got to lose total body fat. So if you're losing weight and fat from here, you're also losing weight and fat from here. I know that the thinner my belly gets and the more ripped I get here, the more ripped I get here. You know what's really unattractive? A six-pack on your face. The overall loss of body fat does a number on a man's face. I know I look better, a little bit plumper. I know that. And when I lose weight, people ask me, are you okay? Because they're so used to seeing me a little bit fatter, a little bit plumper. They're not used to seeing wrinkles on my face. It's interesting, all I meet is women who want to for a while and then move on. That's all that women want to do. That's all they want to do. No one talks about marriage. No one talks about a life together. No one talks about having children. Society is so screwed unless you do something in your little realm. As I am back to being a single man and looking, all I'm finding is women who want to smash. Period. Smash, no commitment. That ain't pretty. And last but not least is, I've been teaching you this for a few years. You vet a woman, this is if you're still interested in having a girlfriend or a wife, you vet a woman for her propensity and ability to build. Gents, look for a woman who's a builder because they are rare. Most women will tear down and consume, but they don't build. All of that comes through self-control. No one ever taught you this. Look for a woman who has self-control. Not manipulative self-control, but a woman who has self-control. It's the biggest thing that I look for in a woman. I would say to women, and I'm not a big one to use this show to speak to women, but women, stop prioritizing your looks. Your looks will fade. Sorry, honey. The looks are going to fade. Your personality is what will make a man love you, not your looks. So focus on your personality. Stop lying. Stop leading men on. Stop leading a man to believe that you are his. Stop giving a man hope that he could have a wife and a family. Just stop it. Be direct. Wouldn't it be great if we were just direct? Women can change their mind and alter your trajectory with one schizophrenic decision. Never do anything for a woman who is not your wife. Pursue your goals, and if a woman wants to join in, cool, but never put your dream or income at risk. And don't take any shortcuts when vetting or looking for a wife, qualifying a wife. It can take years. It can. That's not always a guarantee. I went out with somebody for 4 years, and they flaked on me. Like that, like a light switch. It wasn't a gradual thing. It was a light switch. On, off. I had a relationship for 4 years. Trusting, loving relationship that got turned off. It wasn't toned down over a period of time. It was turned off, to my surprise. It can take years, and especially if she's been stained by bad sexual choices in her past and impulses, a poor family life, or a bad relationship with her father. So do you roll the dice when you date a woman? Do you roll the dice when you get married? I think there is risk. It'd be stupid for me to say that there's no risk. Are you willing to take that risk? And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.